you face today makes you stronger tomorrow. The challenge of life is intended to make you better, not bitter. A tele-reminder from Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Malulenyo.
Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the pilot episode of Grade 8 Mapeh here at Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Malulenyo. Ako si Teacher Mary Vic, kasama ang buong team ng Mapeh 8 teachers. At para sa episode natin ngayon ay katulong natin sina Sir Rogie Javier, Sir Philip Calara, and Ma'am Jessica Santiago bilang grade level technical staff and the school's Teleradyo technical team. Ako ang makakasama ninyo sa susunod na 40 minutes para sa episode na ito. Importante na mayroon tayong healthy lifestyle. At ang lesson natin ngayon ay siguradong makatutulong sa inyo upang maging isang responsableng teenager at bahagi ng ating community o lipunan. But first, please allow me to give you some house rules that you need to follow in order to have the most meaningful experience. Number 1, if you have more than one gadget, please pay attention to the one that you use for this broadcast. You can turn your other gadgets off or put it into silent mode. Number 2, let's exercise respect. Number 3, take down important notes from this discussion. Number 4, pay attention to every detail of the discussion as you are expected to produce the assigned performance task. Number 5, be interactive. Participate in the discussion by typing your comments in the comment section and be sure to include your section. And finally, enjoy learning. I hope that we are clear with our house rules. Let us now begin our discussion with this activity. This will help you recall the topic that we discussed from the second quarter in health education. I have here some words or terminologies lifted from our previous lesson about family life. All you have to do is identify the word being discussed on your screen by making use of the given clues. Kindly use the comment section for your answers. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 1. It is the state of being completely carried away by unreasoning passion or love, addictive love. It is 11-letter word with letter A's and I as your clue. The correct answer is infatuation. Number 2. It is a social activity which involves two or more people generally assessing each other's suitability for potential relationship. So what do you think is the answer? It is a 6-letter word with I and N as your clue. The correct answer is dating. Question number 3. It is a period in a couple's relationship which precedes their engagement and marriage, or it is an establishment of an agreed relationship of a more enduring kind. It is a 9-letter word with O and I and P as your clue. So what do you think is the answer? The correct answer is courtship. Number 4. It is a period wherein a relationship between two people remains strong and well. It is 2 words with 11 letters with N, S, and Y as your clue. If your answer is going steady, then you are correct. Number 5, it is a period of agreement entered between two people in love for them to be able to know each other and their families well enough to be sure that they are ready and are suited for lifelong companionship. It is 10-letter word with E, E, and E as your clue. The correct answer is engagement. Number 6. It is the most enjoyable human relationship. It is the most significant event that may happen to your life. It is 8-letter word with A and E as your clue. The correct answer is marriage. Very good, students. Thank you for your participation. Moving on, for today, we will be talking about the timely and relevant topic and communicable diseases for the 3rd quarter in Health Education 8. But before we proceed, can you still recall what was Pia's advocacy when she reigned as Miss Universe 2015? One of the most watched video on YouTube is Pia Words Back question and answer portion during the Miss Universe 2015. She was asked with this question: why should you be the next Miss Universe? Let us once again take a look and reflect on her answer. Let's watch this video.
Please step to the mic. Here we are. Why should you be the next Miss Universe?
To be a Miss Universe is both an honor and a responsibility. If I were to be Miss Universe, I will use my voice to influence the youth, and I would raise awareness to certain causes like HIV awareness that is timely and relevant to my country, which is the Philippines. I want to show the world, the universe rather, that I am confidently beautiful with a heart. Thank you.
Well, thank you all. This is so much pressure.
Ayon kay Pia, and I quote, "To be a Miss Universe is both an honor and responsibility. If I were to be the Miss Universe, I will use my voice to influence the youth, and I would raise awareness to certain causes like HIV awareness that is timely and relevant to my country, which is the Philippines. I want to show the world, the universe rather, that I am confidently beautiful with a heart." Unquote. Her advocacy implies our country's needs for intensifying the HIV/AIDS awareness program. She also mentioned that this issue was timely and relevant to our country. Ang simbolo ng red ribbon ay ginagamit din upang ipakita ang pakikiisa sa HIV-positive people and those living with AIDS. So what do you think is the focus of our discussion for today? It is about HIV and AIDS. So I would like to ask everyone to listen attentively and participate actively in our discussion. The objectives that we are targeting in this session are as follows. Number 1, discuss the most communicable diseases. Number 2, explain the signs and symptoms, mode of transmission, diagnosis, prevention, and treatment of HIV/AIDS. Number 3, distinguish the misconception, myths, and belief about common communicable diseases, HIV/AIDS. Number 4, promote program and policies to prevent and control communicable diseases. Bakit nga ba kasama ito sa ating lesson? Itinatadhana ng ating batas na ang araling ito ay maisama sa curriculum upang higit na maunawaan ng mga kabataang tulad ninyo ang panganib na kaakibat ng sakit na ito. Mayroon tayong batas na pinagbabatayan ng ating araling ito at ito ay Republic Act No. 8504 o mas kilala sa tawag na Philippine AIDS Law of 1998. At ayon dito, the state shall promote public awareness about HIV/AIDS through various modalities, integration in the curriculum or development of special modules in basic education, inclusion on tertiary and vocational curriculum, providing education in the workplace for Filipinos going abroad and among community people in general. At kamakailan lamang, noong December 20, 2018, nilagdaan ni President Rodrigo Roa Duterte ang Republic Act 11166 o kilala bilang Philippine HIV and AIDS Policy Act of 2018, which shall update and repeal the Philippine AIDS Prevention and Control Act of 1998. Kasama din dito ang paglikha ng Philippine National AIDS Council kung saan kasama ang DOH at ang Department of Education at ilang pang ahensya ng gobyerno sa pagpapalaganap ng tamang impormasyon, kaalaman at edukasyon patungkol sa HIV/AIDS. Ayon sa Article 2, Section 12 ng Batas, DepEd, CHED, and the Technical Education Skills Development Authority or TESDA shall integrate basic and age-appropriate instruction on the causes, mode of transmission, and ways of preventing the spread of HIV and AIDS and other STIs in their respective curricula taught in public and private learning institutions, including alternative and indigenous learning system. The learning modules shall include human right-based principle and information and treatment care and support to promote stigma reduction. Ayon sa aktor na si Alex Newell mula sa hit TV series na Glee, it will be impossible for us to eradicate HIV as long as any corner of the world is cut off from the education and services that we know help stop the spread of this disease. Ano nga ba ang HIV? HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. It is a type of communicable disease that is sexually transmitted. Ayon sa tala, ito ay nagsimula sa Africa noong early 20th century and it is a major public concern and cause of death in many African countries. Unang lumabas ang balita ukol dito sa pahayagang New York native sa Amerika noong May 18, 1981. Kumakalat ito sa pamamagitan ng unprotected sex, contaminated blood transfusions o pagsasali ng dugo, paggamit ng kontaminadong karayom na maaring sa pagtatato, syringe o hiringgilya sa pagbabakuna at illegal drugs, at from mother to child during pregnancy o habang ipinagbubuntis, delivery o panganganak at breastfeeding o pagpapadede. Sa kasalukuyan ay nararanasan natin ang COVID-19 pandemic. Pandemic, which means an epidemic of an infectious disease that has spread across a large region. For instance, multiple continents of worldwide affecting a substantial number of people. Sa kaso ng HIV, may mga manunulat na tinatawag ang HIV bilang global pandemic. Pero sa World Health Organization, pinatutungkulan ng HIV bilang global epidemic. Dito sa Pilipinas, 1984 nung unang maidokumento ang kaso ng HIV. At hanggang sa kasalukuyan ay patuloy na iminomonitor ng DOH ang bilang nito sa ating bansa. Ayon sa datos ng DOH o Department of Health at National HIV AIDS and STI Surveillance and Strategic Information Unit or NHSSS, since 1984 hanggang July 2020, 79,082 ang kabuuan ng bilang na na-diagnose ng HIV, kung saan 74,226 o 94% dito ay mga lalaki at 4,845 o 6% naman ay mga babae. Mula naman sa naitalang 523 na bagong kaso nito lamang July 2020, lumalabas na 497 o 95% ay mga lalaki at 26 o 5% naman ay mga babae. Mula sa naitalang 523 na bagong kaso nito lamang July 2020, lumalabas na sa edad 25 to 34, may kabuuang bilang na 273 at may katumbas na 52%. At sa edad na 15 to 24, mayroong 142 bilang katao o 27%. Sa edad na 35 to 49 ay mayroong 94 or 18%. Sa edad na 50 o higit pa, mayroong 13 katao o 2% ang katumbas nito. Sa edad na less than 15 ay mayroong isang kaso at ang katumbas nito ay less than 1%. Batay sa datos na ito, lumalabas na may mataas na bilang ang mga nasa 15 to 24 years old na kinabibilangan ng kabataan o ng mga teenagers. Bagay na nakakaalarma dahil pabata ng pabata ang mga nagiging infected ng sakit na ito. Despite the efforts of the government and civil society, the incidence of STI, particularly HIV/AIDS, continues to increase. Thus, it poses a serious threat to Filipinos, especially to young people like you. According to the Department of Health's Philippine HIV and AIDS Registry, we had already exceeded 10,000 marks in HIV infections since 1984, when the disease was first documented in our country. More than 1,000 of these already developed into full-blown AIDS. According to World Health Organization, umaabot na sa 33 million katao sa mundo ang namatay mula nang unang maitala ang HIV. Ayon pa rin sa WHO, sa pagtatapos ng 2019, tinatayang may 38 million katao ang nabubuhay na may HIV infections. Sa tala naman ng Wikipedia, tinatayang 770,000 katao ang namatay noong 2018 na may kinalaman sa AIDS. Dito na nabanggit ang AIDS. Ano nga ba ang AIDS? AIDS is a chronic and potentially life-threatening condition caused by the human immunodeficiency virus. It is the final stage of an HIV infection. AIDS was first clinically reported on June 5, 1981, with 5 cases in the United States, at ang term na AIDS ay nagsimulang gamitin noong July 1982. Para higit nating maunawaan kung ano nga ba ang communicable disease na ito, let's watch this video based from Nucleus Medical Media, uploaded in YouTube, dated November 26, 2013.
HIV is the human immunodeficiency virus. If you have HIV, you have an infection that damages your immune system over time and causes AIDS. AIDS stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. It is the final stage of an HIV infection when your immune system is damaged and too weak to fight off ordinary infections. When foreign invaders, such as bacteria and viruses, get into your body, they can cause infections. These events activate your body's defenses. The white blood cells of your immune system are part of your body's defenses. One type of white blood cell, called helper T lymphocytes, or helper T cells, strengthen your immune system's response to infection in 2 ways. First, helper T cells release chemicals that attract other white blood cells to the site of the infection. These additional white blood cells attack the invading bacteria or virus, as well as other infected cells. Second, helper T cells release chemicals that cause other white blood cells to multiply. These new white blood cells create markers, called antibodies, which can identify the same foreign invader throughout your body. Antibodies attach to the bacteria or virus, marking them as targets for your immune system to destroy them. If you have HIV, it travels through your blood and other body fluids to infect and kill certain white blood cells. The virus enters helper T cells, which are the primary target. Once inside, the virus makes many copies of itself. As these virus particles are made, they leave the damaged helper T cell to infect other cells. The T cell loses its ability to protect the body from the ongoing infection and dies. In this way, HIV spreads and kills more of your helper T cells, weakening your immune system. As a result, other types of infections are able to take advantage of your body's inability to defend itself. These infections are called opportunistic infections. If you have an HIV infection and one or more opportunistic infections, you have AIDS. Some of the common AIDS-related opportunistic infections are inflammation of the tissues covering your brain and spinal cord, called meningitis, inflammation of your brain, called encephalitis, respiratory illnesses, such as pneumonia and tuberculosis, intestinal illnesses, such as chronic diarrhea caused by infectious parasites, and cancers, such as Kaposi's sarcoma and non-Hodgkin lymphoma. HIV passes from person to person through infected body fluids. HIV can enter your body during unprotected sex, while sharing drug injection needles, during your own childbirth, while breastfeeding from your mother, or from contaminated blood or blood products. Although there is no cure for HIV, drugs called antiretroviral medications can reduce the amount of HIV in your body. One class of antiretroviral medication, called entry or fusion inhibitors, disrupts the HIV infection process by preventing the virus from attaching to your cells. Other classes of antiretroviral medications include reverse transcriptase inhibitors, protease inhibitors, and integrase inhibitors. These drugs prevent the creation, assembly, and spread of new viruses. Your doctor may prescribe a combination of these drug classes known as highly active antiretroviral therapy, or HAART. Antiretroviral medication doesn't completely remove HIV from your body, but slows it down enough to enable your immune system to fight infections. Regular blood tests will let your doctor know how effective your antiretroviral medication is in controlling HIV. If the number of helper T cells is high enough in your blood sample, your medication is working. Treatments for the opportunistic infections of AIDS are medications specific for each type of infection. For example, your doctor may prescribe antibiotics if you have pneumonia or tuberculosis.
All right, I guess everybody gained much knowledge about HIV and AIDS. According to the video that we've watched, hanggang sa kasalukuyan ay wala pang natutuklasang gamot at bakuna para sa AIDS. Ang mga gamot na nabanggit ay para lamang pabagalin ang pagkalat o pagdami ng virus sa katawan ng taong infected nito. Ang Antiretroviral Therapy o ART ay isang uri ng gamutan na may layunin na pabagalin ang patuloy na pagkalat ng virus sa katawan, subalit hindi kayang alisin o patayin ang HIV/AIDS virus sa katawan ng tao. Habang abala ang mundo sa pagtuklas at patuloy na pagpapalakas ng COVID-19 vaccine, hanggang sa kasalukuyan ay wala pang kinikilalang vaccine para sa HIV/AIDS. The most effective vaccine trial to date is RV144, was published in 2009. It was found a partial reduction in the risk of transmission of roughly 30%, stimulating some hope in the research community of developing a truly effective vaccine. Further trials of RV144 vaccines are ongoing. Mula sa video na aking idiniscuss, nakita ninyo kung paano ang HIV ay kumakalat at nakakaapekto sa isang tao. Let us now deal with how HIV/AIDS can be transmitted from one person to another. May ipapakita akong mga statement na may kinalaman sa HIV/AIDS at sasagutin natin ito ng true or false, base sa kaalaman na ating pinag-usapan. Ready? Let's start! Number 1, a person can acquire HIV/AIDS from using the intravenous syringe of an infected person. The correct answer is true. HIV/AIDS can be easily transferred through blood. When a shared needle from an infected person is injected to an infected person, there is a big possibility of infection. Number 2. Most sexually transmitted diseases like HIV/AIDS can be treated and cured without medical attention. Is it true or false? The answer is false. You cannot cure yourself alone. Only a medical practitioner can correctly diagnose and treat you. Number 3. If a woman with HIV/AIDS gives a normal birth to a child, her child may have a greater chance of being infected too. Is it true or false? The correct answer is true. HIV/AIDS can be acquired during pregnancy and during childbirth. Number 4. You always know when you have an STD or sexually transmitted disease. Is it true or false? The correct answer is false. Not all STDs have detectable symptoms. You may feel fine, have no unusual odors, look healthy, and still be infected with an STD. For example, 75% of women and 50% of men have no symptoms when infected with chlamydia. Number 5. A person can have no symptoms yet be infected with HIV/AIDS and be able to pass it on to someone else. Is it true or false? The correct answer is true. A person does not always have to experience symptoms to transmit infections to a partner. The symptoms of HIV vary depending on the stage of infection. In the first few weeks of infections or during the incubation period, a person may experience no symptoms or an influenza-like illness such as fever, headaches, rash, or sore throat, and when the virus weakens the immune system, the other symptoms may manifest such as swollen lymph node, weight loss, fever, diarrhea, and cough. Number 6. The best way to prevent and control the incidence of STD and HIV is abstinence. What do you think is the answer? Is it true or false? The correct answer is true. Abstinence is the most effective way to avoid the infection as it is recommended by health professionals around the world. From all that we have heard and learned about HIV or AIDS, I believe it is clear to us that there is something we can do about it. To be personally educated is one way, but it is also important that this education does not remain in ourselves but be shared to others as well. Now, I want you to tell me whether it is a means of acquiring HIV/AIDS or not. React in our comment box by typing yes or no. Okay, let's start. Number 1. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through breastfeeding. Is it yes or no? If your answer is yes, then you are correct because HIV/AIDS can be transmitted from mother to child through bodily fluids and from pregnancy to childbirth. Number 2. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through handshaking. Is it yes or no? The correct answer is no, because HIV/AIDS can be transmitted by means of sexual activities, bodily fluids such as blood and semen. Number 3. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through sharing of eating utensils with someone infected with. Is it yes or no? The answer is no, because HIV/AIDS can be transmitted by means of sexual activities, bodily fluids such as blood and semen. Number 4. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through hugging someone with HIV. Is it yes or no? The correct answer is no, because once again, HIV can be transmitted by means of sexual activities, bodily fluids such as blood and semen. Number 5. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through sharing contaminated syringes, needles, and other sharp instruments with someone infected by HIV. Is it yes or no? The correct answer is yes, because HIV/AIDS can be transmitted by using contaminated objects such as needle and syringe. Number 6. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through blood transfusion from an HIV-infected person. It is yes or no? The correct answer is yes, because HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through bodily fluids such as blood and semen. Number 7. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through tattooing using infected needles. Is it yes or no? The correct answer is yes, because HIV/AIDS can be transmitted by using contaminated objects such as needle and syringe. Number 8. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through wearing clothes of an infected person. Is it yes or no? The correct answer is no, because HIV/AIDS can only be transmitted through sexual activities and bodily fluids, contaminated blood during transfusion by contaminated objects such as needle and syringe. Number 9. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through sitting in a toilet seat used by HIV patient. Is it yes or no? The correct answer is no, because again, HIV/AIDS can only be transmitted through sexual activities and bodily fluids, contaminated blood during transfusion, and by using contaminated objects such as needle and syringe. Number 10. HIV/AIDS can be transmitted through donating blood with the Philippine Red Cross. Is it yes or no? The correct answer is no. Philippine National Red Cross ensures that donated bloods are being tested and free from different pathogens that might cause diseases. Good job, students! Thank you for participating in our activity. Umaasa ako na nakakuha kayo ng mga kaalaman tungkol sa HIV and AIDS. Knowledge of sexually transmitted infections like human immunodeficiency virus and acquired immune deficiency syndrome as linked to gender and human sexuality issues is particularly significant for one's sexuality, a significant factor for the optimum development of family health. Prevailing norms and standard of society relative to gender and human sexuality have greatly influenced the important growing implications for HIV and AIDS challenge. Sexually transmitted infection is preventable. The first step is to remain sexually abstinent until marriage. Next is to obtain accurate information about these diseases and recognize inaccurate information. Third is to enhance life skills. By knowing how to make decisions and practice refusal skills, you can never go wrong in safeguarding your health. At bago tayo matapos, iiwan ko sa inyo ang isang quotation mula kay Eleanor Roosevelt. Ayon sa kanya, "In the long run, we shape our lives and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die, and the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility." Pero dapat din nating tandaan sa mga pinipili natin at desisyon, isipin natin hindi lang ang para sa ating sarili, kundi ang kabutihan na maidudulot nito para sa lahat. Lagi nating tandaan, ang pakikinig at pagsunod sa ating mga magulang ay paraan patungo sa magandang kinabukasan. And that concludes our Mapeh 8 pilot episode, the 30th day of April 2021, kasama ang buong team Mapeh 8, Sir Philip P. Calara, Ma'am Maylene P. De La Serna, Sir Rafael Nicolas P. Janicio, Sir Rogelio M. Javier Jr., Ma'am Adoracion C. Jimenez, Ma'am Jessica D.J. Santiago, Ma'am Rose Ann M. Tamayo, and their special thanks to Sir Bernabe Castillo for the technical assistance and support. Ako si Teacher Mary Vic G. Galman para sa Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Malulenyo. Malolos, maraming salamat at mabuhay!
Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.